Alright, so we're going to be talking about adding and subtracting fractions. Let's just look at a quick example. Maybe on the back, you guys should have room on the very back of your handout. It should be a blank page. Do this one real quick as an example 1. Okay? And hopefully this one's not too hard, but we do want to review a few things, okay? A few important things for when we are adding or subtracting fractions. Okay? Hard? Okay. Guys, what's my numerator going to be? It is going to be 4. How did we get 4? Just adding. Yeah, just pretend like you had a little sister or a little brother that's in an early grade, or you had a cousin, or you're just helping out a neighbor and you're explaining it. You would say, we're going to add our numerators, right? Okay? What about my denominators? How does that one look? Okay, I'm hearing we don't add the denominators. That's correct. We don't add our denominators on fractions.
You leave them the same.
Yeah, Mike. You don't multiply them. We may have to, but right now,
you just leave them.
They are exactly the same, right? And that's very important. If they are exactly the same, I'm allowed to do this step where I add the numerators together. If they are exactly the same,
you leave them. You will still put the same number underneath.
Yeah. So let me undo that then. Okay. So if you wrote that, make sure that's not what you leave down on your paper. Okay. All right. I get 4 over 4. Some of you guys may be stopping here, but I noticed at least a few of you put 4 over 4 is also equal to what? 1. Okay, so I wouldn't leave it as 4 over 4. I would leave it as 1. Okay? Yeah. What about, there's an example to talk about? Oh, okay. And can you guys remember what this little line here means in the fraction? We are dividing. So we are taking the very top number, 4, and dividing it by 4, and then I get one whole group of 1. Or one group of 4, I should say. What about if I do something like, okay, what's this going to be? If you already know how to do this, you can go ahead and just get a little extra practice in. 2/3 plus 2/4. How else could I have written 2/4? 1/2. Okay. Can I make this 4 on the numerator? Why am I not allowed to just say, okay, let's add the numerators like we did in the last problem? Why? Because they are different denominators. Okay, what's my denominator over on the left? It's 3. What's my denominator on the right? It's 4. Okay, first of all, I wouldn't know which number to keep the same over here. And second of all, right now we're comparing almost 2 different things. Think of as this denominator over here is US dollars, and I've got 2 US dollars, and over here I've got 2 euros. I have to do some type of conversion to figure out how much money I actually have together, right? And so, like, if you were a company like Apple, what's another big company? Google, they probably make money not just in the United States. So they probably get dollars that come in. They probably get euros. They probably get pounds. They probably get pesos. They probably get
yen.
Pardon? Yen. Okay. And they're not going to say, well, they're in different types of currency. I'm not going to figure out how much money we really have. No, they're going to figure out, okay, let's convert it all to the same thing to figure out how much money we made, how much money can we pay people. and how many people we can hire, how much, like, should I keep selling this? Should I not sell that anymore? Is it making me money or not? Okay? Now, I know we're not going to be doing stuff like that exactly here, but eventually, when you get into Algebra 1, you are doing conversions similar to like how you'd be converting denominators. All right? So we're going to talk about methods to simplify these. Okay? Today, I don't know if you had seen this before, but we are going to be doing smiley face method. Is there enough room on here? Okay? Smiley face, because when you guys think of math, you guys are so happy, you want to smile.
Actually, the opposite.
You want to like grin? I don't know what you mean by the opposite. Better than a smiley face? Alright, so some of this may be a little bit of stretch, but our step one, okay, so real quick, when I'm looking at 3/4 and I'm going to subtract 1/3, what's my problem right now? Why do I have to just stop and say I have to do something different or how I have to change something? Michael. The bottom numbers of our fractions, by the way, are called what? Starts with a D. Denominator, good. And the top, just since we're already talking about, what is the top numbers called? Numerator. What is this line here called? Do you know that? It's called a vinculum. Okay, so probably most.
That's the vernacular.
Yeah, and the only reason why I know that is because when I was doing my student teaching, someone asked what that line was called, and a bunch of the other math teachers didn't know it. So if you have other math teachers later on, you could probably stump them, and they might not know what that line is called. Okay, not that it matters. So I just wanted to remember though that the 3 and the 1, those are numerators. The 4 and the 3 on the bottom, those are denominators. The problem that I have right now is that my denominators are different. Okay. That's okay. What does step 1 say to do?
Circle the bottom of the denominators.
Circle the denominators
And connect them like a smiley face.
and connect them like a smiley face. So maybe I do actually like and let me make this a little bit finer. Maybe I make oh, that's even worse. And I connect them. Okay. We won't really give them the dots. Okay, they're just gonna have blank stares. Okay. What about step 2? Alicia, what does step 2 say to do?
Make your x to multiply a nose, write their product as well as denominators after the
Okay. So let's make our nose. I'll make it orange. Okay. Maybe you want it a little bit higher. I don't know. It's okay. All right. So it's like I said, it's a little bit of a stretch, but maybe you can kind of see the eyes and the nose, and then a smiley face because it's math, of course. All right. And we want to write the product of the denominators. What does product mean? We've talked about this before. Product is another word to say to do what with 2 numbers? Multiply. I want the product of my denominators. So I want to do 4 times 3, and I still have a subtraction sign. 4 times 3 is what? 12. Okay, so I'm going to put a 12 over here and a 12 over there, and maybe I'll leave the numerators blanks for now. When you feel more confident about adding or subtracting fractions, you might combine all of these steps together. You might not even need the smiley face. Okay? Has anybody ever learned this with the smiley face method?
No.
Okay, so some of you guys have been getting by without the smiley face method. You probably aren't going to start doing it now. Unless, some of you guys like to draw, I know, on your math anyways. Okay? Curtis, what is my step 4? What's going on with my step 3?
Okay, that's all.
Oh,
The
step
back.
3 is backwards. I think maybe that's not. All right. Well, let's do a couple changes real quick here, guys. This looks like it should be my step 3, and this is my step 4. Okay. So I still have. Okay. What am I gonna do after this, Curtis?
And you got multiply.
Actually,
No, wait, no, you already did that.
it actually is messed up. Let's go skip down here, guys.
Uh-oh.
You can see that.
Edgar Barrios, please come to the office. Edgar, please come to
All right,
the office.
let's go from step 2 down to step 3. So let me draw my eyes again. Can you read step 3 for us, Curtis?
Cross multiply.
Mhm.
Write your product in both denominators after the equal sign.
Do you guys know what we mean? Guys, do you know what we mean when we cross multiply? We're gonna kind of make a cross here, and I'll do this in green. This 3 is gonna multiply with that 3 over there, and then the 4 over here is gonna multiply with the 1. What is 3 times 3? And I'll put it in the top left. What is 3 times 3? 9. And then what about 4 times 1? 4. Okay. Let me rewrite this. So I already had the 12 and the 12. Now on the 1 over here, I'm going to put a 9, and then I will put a 4.
Okay, one more warning and then all you guys are.
Okay, and then do you guys see where I got the 9 and where I got the 4 from? The 9 goes over here. And I'll use orange. This 4 went over there. See that okay? What do you guys think we do next? Now I have what?
Solve by adding and subtracting.
Yeah, now my denominators are
The
the
same.
same, so now I can look at my numerators. So I am subtracting
So then you would get 5 12.
5 over 12. So this is kind of like a combo. It looks like I got the notes, the step 3 and step 4 written in the wrong spots. This should be then 9 minus 4. It's going to be 5 12ths. Yeah.
Back, do we have to use a smiley face then?
No, you don't have to. If you want to do like a grinning face method, that's fine. Okay. All right. Everybody okay to move on to the next page? Let's do some practice problems. Okay, we'll do a couple together. We'll do one subtraction, one adding, and then I want you guys, we'll give you guys some time to work like together and have Miss Cook, myself, and I don't know if Danny took off. Wrong Danny. Unless you're related to Miss Doppler. Okay, and then Miss Southward can be walking around. You don't have anybody over there, right? Okay, let's go to the next page. All right, 2 over 3 minus 1/4. I've got different denominators. So if you don't want to use the smiley method, smiley face method, that's okay. Okay, so let me make the eyes. I'm going to multiply the 3 and the 4 to get 12. Okay, and then I'm also going to get a 12 over here. What do I do for the top numbers? How do I figure those two out? Cross multiply. So let's see. 4 times the 2 is going to be an 8. And then I'm going to do a 3 times 1 to get 3. And I will get a 5 12ths. The one thing to be careful about, and guys, when you have your quiz today, you may have to simplify your fractions. Okay, so Keep an eye out on those for these practice ones so you can get the handle of them right now. We'll do number 2 together, and then I'll give you guys some time to kind of work together because when you get to the quiz, you won't be able to work with anybody. Okay? Just your own brain. Let's see. My problem here, I've got, actually, let's skip to something different because I'm tired of getting a denominator of 12. Okay? Let's do number 3. Make my smiley face. I'm going to multiply 3 and 5. Why do we put the nose there as an X? What is that to help us remember? Yeah, we're multiplying those two things together that are connected. 3 times 5, I know, is 51. It's 15. So you're gonna what? Okay, and then after I multiply the denominators, then I will cross multiply. I get a 5 and a 6. 5 plus 6 is, anybody in Spanish? Once. Do you need to simplify here? No. Okay, so go ahead and put that, go ahead and start working on some of these. You can check with your neighbor. If you need some help, you can ask Ms. Cook, myself, Ms. Southward, or Danny for help as we're walking around. Okay? Okay. Let me make my face. I'm going to multiply those two numbers together. Guys, we're multiplying our denominators together, so I get a 12 here, and a 12 there, and then also a 12. Then I'm going to do what after that? Cross multiply. What two numbers am I multiplying first? Do you guys care? 2 times 2, that's a 4. That's what I'm going to put right there. And then I heard 6 times 1. That's a 6. I'm going to put a 6 right here. What is 4 plus 6, guys? 10. Why am I not done? We can simplify. These numbers are both divisible. Okay, so divisible means I can divide the number and I'm not going to get a decimal. They're both divisible by a common number. And I'm hearing 2. So if I want to try dividing both those numbers by 2, what's 10 divided by 2?
5.
5, good. And then if I also do 12 divided by 5, I will get 6. So actually my answer is going to be 5, 6. 12 divided by 2 will be 6.
Happened again.
Let me finish and then I'll see what your question was. There we go. What was your question, Doug? If you need to simplify, then simplify. Because right here, 11/15, we can't simplify that. Okay, so then you're done. But 10 over 12, they're both divisible by 2. I can divide both the numbers by 2 and make it a smaller number. Well, it would actually 5. And then the reason why is because you would have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 perfectly. So then you have nothing left over. And then so